How's it going, everybody? We are here from the Sheridan Press. I'm Mike Pruden. I'm here with our sports reporter, Bud Denega. It's March Madness. It's time. We're going to break down the bracket for you guys. Bud thinks he's an expert. We will see. You can compare it to your bracket. You can sign up and join the Sheridan Press bracket. If you go to thesheridanpress.com, there's a link to join our bracket challenge. But we'll see. We'll see, Bud. You think you got it?
Oh, yeah. Let's buckle up. It's going to be a wild ride. March is always a great time of year, isn't it, Mike?
It is. Let's go. Let's get after it.
All right.
All right, we're going to start here in the South region. This is our overall number 1 seed, Virginia. We got our 2 seed, Cincinnati. A lot of people think they're the weakest 2 seed. We'll get to that. Tennessee's our 3. As you can see, Bud has Virginia. He has Tennessee. Again, we'll get to Cincinnati. But Bud, I notice you have your 4-13 matchup. Arizona and Buffalo is blank.
Yeah.
So what's your take on the Arizona and Buffalo game?
Got a little action in here. You got the Pac-12 tournament champion and the regular season champion in Arizona. But Buffalo, trendy, nice little upset pick. They got 4 players who score at least 14.6 points per game. I like the Bulls in that matchup.
Ooh, okay. I disagree. I don't like it, but
You don't have to like it.
this is the Bud-racketology, so we're going to put Buffalo in there. Bud, that's our first upset that we see. He's got to lose to Kentucky anyway, so it doesn't matter, but we like the first round upsets. The next one, as we mentioned, Cincinnati, a weak 2 seed, and I would imagine you agree here. You have Nevada, Mountain West. What do you think of the Nevada-Cincinnati game?
I like Nevada in this matchup because Nevada's got 5 really good starters. They got 2 twins, Cody and Caleb Martin. Both Cody won the Defensive Player of the Year in the conference. Caleb won MVP in the conference. Dynamic duo for the Twins. The Twins going to lead them to the Sweet 16? Sure, let's go with those Nevada Twins.
All right, we like Nevada. Keeping it in the Mountain West. We'll see what they can do against Tennessee. We'll come back and give you our Final 4 pick from the South region after we head to these other regions here. Bud has the Zags going. As you can see, everybody likes the Zags. North Carolina. So you have some, your 2 seed, your 4 seed. You have them going pretty far. Let's go down here in the first round of this. We've got 2 blanks in the 6-11 matchup and the 3-14 matchup.
San Diego State versus Houston. Aztecs' hottest team in the Mountain West. We just like Nevada out of the Mountain West. San Diego State's the hottest team in the Mountain West. They got 5 guys averaging double figures. They've won 9 in a row. Feeling pretty good about yourself, Aztecs? Good enough to beat Houston, I think.
Houston's pretty hot too right now, though.
Yeah, but they played in the American. No one's hot. 5 that score in double figures. How are you going to stop that? How do you match up with that?
I don't know.
Houston won't be able to. Put the Aztecs in there.
Okay. We'll take San Diego State. The 11 seed. And now, one that some of you locally might like. We don't have the Pokes in the tournament this year, but Montana, right up north, going against Michigan Wolverines, who some might say is the hottest team in the Big Ten. So what do you think about this one?
Hottest team in the Big Ten, but when's the last time they played, Mike? It's been about a couple weeks, right? So maybe a little rust on them. Montana. What do you like about tournament teams, Mike?
Veteran backcourts.
We got a veteran backcourt up there in Missoula, Montana. We got Ahmad Rory, an Oregon transfer as a junior. He's accompanied by a couple other upperclassmen in that backcourt. I like the Grizz in a pretty sizable upset here.
Okay, hey, I like veteran backcourts. We'll see what the Grizz can do. They look good in that conference championship.
Mm-hmm.
So now let's keep it here. Montana, San Diego State. That's an 11-14 in the second round. One of these teams is going to the Sweet 16. Which one are you taking?
Sure, I love the slipper that fits Montana in that round of 64, I guess you could say. But I think it shatters then in the round of 32. Let's pick the Aztecs there in a relatively easy matchup. They have that emotional high after a big first round upset. Let's go with the Aztecs.
Okay, you're riding the Mountain West. All right, we'll keep that one there. Now we'll move back up here. The 12-5, everybody likes the 12-5s. This one you got Ohio State. Looked good throughout the season in the Big Ten. South Dakota State. Why do you like this one?
Well, I like, who doesn't like the Jackrabbits? And I'll give you one player's name, Mike Dahm. Matchup nightmare, 6'10", can shoot it from the outside. Ohio State struggled down the stretch. I like the Jackrabbits in this one. Go Jacks.
Yeah, I think I agree with you that one. I think that's one that I picked. Again, everybody likes the 12-5. You got to You got to take at least 112. At least that's what they tell me. And why not take South Dakota State?
Sure, let's go Jackrabbits.
All right, let's move up here. Our last pick from the West that we're going to highlight, Xavier and Florida State. You got Florida State's the 9. Xavier is your 1 from this bracket. Why are you looking at this one, and what intrigues you about this matchup?
Well, what intrigues me about this matchup, Mike, is probably intrigues you as well. Florida State, who's on Florida State again?
I think that's Sheridan College former General P.J. Savoy, sharpshooter.
P.J. Savoy, and they were a bubble team, got into the tournament. Usually there's a 1 seed that goes down before the first weekend's up. Xavier's the weakest of the ones. Let's pick the Seminoles in this one.
Okay. Well, I know P.J. has he's been shooting lights out the last few games for them, and they're really going to need it to beat Xavier. Again, veteran backcourt. Xavier, Trayvon Blewett is tough, but we'll take the Seminoles. That's what Bud picks for the West. Again, we'll come back to our Final Four pick, but this is what Bud likes out of the West. All right, Bud, we're going to move on to the East region. Again, we have Villanova. You've got your teams up here. A lot of chalk in this bracket, West Virginia, Villanova. So we'll move down here to your first blank. And we're going to get a play-in game, which is an intriguing play-in game, and I know you feel the same. St. Bonaventure and UCLA are going to play before Thursday. The winner of that will play Florida. Why do you like the play-in game, and then who do you take in the matchup with Florida after that?
Well, those two teams, they might break the scoreboard over there in Dayton. Bonnie's and UCLA that like to get up and down the floor, shoot a lot of threes, and I like them kind of shaking off maybe that tournament rust, getting those jitters out early, and then going up against a Florida Gators team, which I think is vulnerable, and then them advancing to that round of 32.
Who do you take to win that against Florida?
I like talented. You like veteran backcourts? I like talented backcourts. I got a really talented backcourt in St. Bonaventure. I like Jalen Adams. I really like the Bonnies in that matchup.
All right. So there's an upset there, which I'm not even sure is an upset if you ask me, but according to the seeds, we'll call it an upset. We'll move down here. Arkansas and Purdue. Again, no upsets in the first round there. What sticks out to you in this Purdue-Arkansas matchup? Purdue looked really good earlier in the year too, and they've kind of stumbled as of late. So why is that one? Why are you highlighting this one here?
I think it's an interesting contrast of styles. Purdue's big. They kind of want to throw it down low. Arkansas will get up and down. They got athletic bigs who I think can give Purdue a lot of problems, and I actually like the Hogs advancing in this one.
Okay. Yeah, I think people have figured out how to beat Purdue, and again, that's a tougher road for Purdue, I think. We'll move down here to the Midwest. Again, you got our 1 seed Kansas. You have them moving pretty far. Our 2 seed is Duke in this region, and the 3 is Michigan State, and you have Duke here in the Sweet 16. So we'll start out and we'll look at our 3 seed Michigan State. You have them going against TCU, and we have a blank here. So let's start with this matchup.
Sure, yeah, the Horned Frogs had the best offense in what I think was the best conference in the Big 12, and defense wins you championships, but offense can win you around a 32 game. It can spring you an upset too. That's why I like the Horned Frogs in this matchup.
All right, sending old Tom Izzo home, huh?
Yeah. Could
be the last time we see Miles Bridges. Let's stick with this one, TCU and Duke. I think whether it's TCU or Michigan State, I have Michigan State. The matchup with Duke is intriguing. Any matchup with Duke, I think, is intriguing. What is Duke going to do this year? So what do you think of this matchup, and who are you sending to the Elite Eight?
I think Duke has been slightly unreliable this year. You don't exactly know what you're going to get. Maybe have the most talent of anybody in the country, but they're kind of erratic. I know what I'm getting from TCU. Jamie Dixon, really good coach. As I said before, really high-powered offense in TCU. I'm riding the Horned Frogs again to the Elite Eight.
Let's go up here with New Mexico State and Clemson. Again, another 12-5. And this is an intriguing one as well. What do you think about the New Mexico-Clemson game?
New Mexico State, it seems like they're always in the tournament. They are a staple of the tournament, always coming out of the WAC. They still have yet to win that first-round matchup in the last decade. Zach Lofton, 6'4" guard, averages nearly 20 points a game, can go and get you a bucket whenever, wherever. 12-5 matchup. I like the Aggies to finally crack through and get that first tournament victory in a while.
All right. Again, you got Kansas and TCU here. We talked about TCU. Not a lot of action going on here, but the New Mexico State one definitely stands out. We'll see how that shapes up, and we'll go in and we'll see how this Elite Eight for Bud sends us to a Final Four. All right, Bud. So we looked at the region breakdowns. We have our Elite Eight up on the board. A lot of Big 12, especially on this side. But we'll start on this side. We'll start with the South and the West to get our Final Four teams. You know, Virginia is the overall number one. You've already mentioned you like Nevada. You got them pretty far. Who do you like between our number one and maybe our Cinderella Nevada?
Sure, you know, like you said, Virginia, our overall number one seed. They got that because really they were the most consistent team this year in a college basketball year. Like many years, saw a lot of parity this year, and Virginia was that team that kind of didn't have the high ups and the low lows, and they've been consistent. So I'm actually going to go chalk here. I'm going to go with the Cavaliers going to the Final Four.
All right, we'll take Virginia. Solid pick, like you said, they have been the most consistent, and I think. Shown the least fluctuation, and they've been there.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's another thing. Tony Bennett's solid. We know they're going to play defense, and I think they play a little more offense than normal. So that's a good Final Four pick there. Let's move to the West. Gonzaga, again, national championship last year. They're no longer a Cinderella. Everybody knows Gonzaga. And North Carolina, they're one of our blue bloods as well. So this is kind of an intriguing matchup to me because I think both of these teams could lose early, but they could also very easily get to this point. Mm-hmm. So should they get to this point like you've picked, which one do you like between Gonzaga and the Tar Heels?
Actually got a rematch of last year's national championship game
here.
And the Zags came up short then, and I think the Zags are unfortunately going to come up short again. I like UNC in this matchup.
All right, so we have North Carolina. Again, this is two solid programs here that have been here before, experienced programs. So that gives us Virginia versus North Carolina on this half of the Final Four. So let's move to the East and Midwest. We'll start at the top. Again, a lot of Big 12 over here. West Virginia, Texas Tech. Neither are the one seeds. West Virginia knocked off our one seed Villanova, according to Bud. So who do you have in this matchup?
A rematch of the semifinal Big 12 championship semifinal game, and West Virginia got Texas Tech in that one. I like the Mountaineers to, again, beat the Red Raiders.
Why do you think they can take down Texas Tech? Texas Tech has proven that they can beat some good teams. They got some guys back from injury. So why do you still take the Mountaineers in this one?
Well, we got a proven coach, and we've got a great floor general in Javon Carter, a guy that will just pester you for 94 feet.
Sure. All right, so we take West Virginia there. To wrap up our Final Four, we'll go to the Midwest. Kansas and TCU. Again, you've already talked about how much you like TCU and what they can bring, knocking off Duke. But then you have Kansas, again, another one of our blue bloods. They got the players that we know. They've been there before, a coach who's been there before. They keep winning Big 12s, and you got them going against another Big 12 team. So can they be knocked off?
Not in this matchup, not in my mind, because Kansas, remember, we were talking about them, they're not going to win their 14th regular season Big 12 championship like they've done for so many years. And what happened in February? They got hot. And what happened in the Big 12 tournament? They got hot. Big 12 tournament champions, regular season champions. I think they're a Final Four team as well.
All right, so we're taking the Jayhawks. Again, they've been here before. Not major upsets leading us to this Final Four. I don't think a lot of people would do that, but some solid teams. You have a 5 from the East. You have Kansas, UNC, and Virginia. Again, a lot of programs that are experienced and we know of. But some solid Final Fours that's different than a lot of people and not chalk the whole way through. So let's get to our national championship here. This Virginia-North Carolina game, who are you taking there?
I like Virginia. Defense wins you championships. We talked about TCU's high scoring, how it can win you a game, maybe spring an upset. Well, Virginia's that consistent defensive-minded team, and I think that defensive-minded mentality will lead Virginia to the national championship game.
All right, so we're going to take Virginia, Tony Bennett in the championship. And who are they going to play against? West Virginia and Kansas. Again, that's been delivered us some solid games throughout the season in the Big 12. I'd love to see this one again. I'm not sure who I would pick, but I'm not the one picking, so who do you have?
Sure, Kansas got West Virginia's number for a little bit of time here, so, maybe we have a little role reversal here. I like West Virginia for the reasons I told you. We got a veteran coach. We've got a veteran floor leader. Let's go with the Mountaineers here.
Yeah, it's tough to sweep a team throughout the season,
sure,
especially coming from a conference like this one. So we're going to roll with West Virginia. We're taking the 5 seed. So let's get our national champion then. We got a border war here, Virginia and West Virginia. Two solid programs, two solid defensive programs, and you say that wins championships. So somebody's offense has to take them over the top. So who do you take?
Sure, we got a real low-scoring affair here, but, West Virginia, while Virginia probably has the best defense in the country, there's been the most consistent team, West Virginia plays a style unlike anybody else. They call them Press Virginia for a reason, and I think that style can fluster anybody. I think it could even fluster our overall #1 seed in Virginia, and I actually like the Mountaineers in a close one here. Bit of an upset for my national title.
Sure, we're gonna take Bud's taking West Virginia. You guys see it, you heard it. That's who we're taking. Mark it up. Don't forget it. He's going with the Mountaineers. That's our national champion. Should be a good one. And we'll have to wait and see.
Sure. Go Mountaineers.
All right. Well, there you have it. There's some insight from Bud, or Bud-racketology as we're calling it. You see his bracket. West Virginia. He's got the Mountaineers, national champs. Got some of his Cinderellas, some of his upsets here. Again, if you think you can beat Bud, join the Sheridan Press Bracket Busters Challenge. Go to thesheridanpress.com. We'd love to have you. There's prizes involved. It'll be fun to see if you can beat the sports guys here at the Press. Beat your friends. Have them sign up. It's free. And everybody loves March. So, Bud, we appreciate it. And go Mountaineers, I guess.
Absolutely.